We are connection creatures, and building strong, loving relationships is what we all want. But do you have a solid foundation already built to welcome in and maintain your relationships? No, this isn't another talk about being perfect in order to have the perfect relationship. The key to relationships you seek starts from the relationship you have with you. Let's face it, you bring you everywhere you go. And while the laundry list of what everybody else has to do is long, have you taken a few to look at you? Today, I'm helping you take your power back and make sure you have a solid foundation of self-love to build on. So often we think if the other person would just do X, Y, and Z, then everything would be fine. But honey, you are responsible for your own healing and happiness. Everyone else just contributes to it. Just like you don't have any control over their happiness and healing, you can only contribute to it. So make sure your contribution is adding and not subtracting. When you do your work, you'll be surprised how the people around you operate at a higher frequency, all because you are. Hey, are you feeling stuck right now, trying to find love, or even stuck in your relationships? Whether you are frustrated trying to find the one or dealing with the one you with, get yourself signed up for a free Level Up Your Love coaching session. Discover what's holding you back so you can find a new way and bring back the fun into dating and in your relationships. The Level Up Your Love starts with you. So click the link in the show notes and sign up for your free session today. Hey, Encourager! Welcome to the Encourage Over Everything show, where each and every single episode is a burst of positivity and insight, especially for you. In the hustle and bustle of life, finding moments of joy and encouragement can be a challenge, and that's where I come in. Our show is all about uplifting your spirits and giving you that much needed boost in life, love, and relationships. Dive into stories of love, conquering all and discovering secrets to a happier, healthier life. Whether you are single, in a relationship, or navigating the complex world of dating, we've got something special for you. Tune in to the Encourage Over Everything show now. Listen, laugh, learn, and let's encourage over everything together. Encourager, I hope this message finds you feeling happy, healthy, and whole. This is one of my favorite affirmations. I say it every day. And it's also my wish for you. I had spent so many of my single years expecting somebody to come in and cure me of all my past hurts, pains, disappointments, insecurities, and self-sabotaging, honey. But it wasn't until I took full responsibility for my healing and my happiness that even more love flowed into my life. It took me years to really realize my self-love was the key to everything. So whether you are on your search for love or in a relationship, these tips are here to help you. Now, you know I love you, and I'm always going to keep it all the way real with you. So one thing that I need you to stop doing is treating your relationships as if they are your dumping grounds to just come in, dump all your garbage, your trash on it, and not work on you. Listen, your relationships are drowning in the sea of your garbage. It's like a landfill. It's like you showed up with your landfill and all your partner got is a broom. Honey, they don't have all the tools for this job, honey. We need some heavy artillery. Your healing and your happiness are your responsibility. And when you take full responsibility of your healing and your own happiness, and you realize that everyone else just contributes to it, you will find yourself so much more happy and so much more healed. Now listen, I know, there may be a lot to do, honey, a lot to clean up. So I'm going to need you to seek the help and support that you need to do so. I do believe that relationships have a healing quality about them. And I do believe that people can love you back to life. But you have to be the first. You have to be the one to do the heavy lifting. You can't put all this pressure on a person or a relationship to do your work for you. We all are responsible for doing our work. So if you need a community, if you need a coach, whatever it is that you need, we are in the day and age of the resources, honey. Resources are at your fingertips, literally. So make sure you are setting yourself up for success and taking that ownership and accountability and responsibility for what is yours to handle. Let other people contribute to what you have already done. So no more treating your relationships as if they just get to be the dumping grounds of all that needs to be made whole and happy, honey. You got to be the first and let other people contribute and make sure that their contributions is adding and not subtracting. Come get your mind right and journal with me. Every day I'm in my favorite app, Growth Day, where I do my personal development. Listen, your journal is your best friend who always wants to hear from you to help you reduce stress, declutter your mind, and so many more incredible benefits. In Growth Day, you can journal right on your phone. And that's right, no more taking a physical journal with you on your trips because you can access it right on your phone or even online. Set your day up right with Mindset Powerful Message every day from none other than the Brendan Burchard and other top thought leaders of our time. This app is packed with so much goodness. It's the #1 personal development tool out there. So make sure you are making self-improvement a way of life. Every day is a great day to grow. So click the link in the show notes to start your free trial now. The second key is self-reflection. You have regularly got to reflect on your feelings and your behaviors. Be willing to hold yourself accountable. Trust me, I don't hold anyone more accountable than I hold myself. And listen, you more than anybody, you know when you ain't right. So don't be afraid to check yourself and know that you can do so with love. We have got to be willing to do our own course correction. And sometimes you the one that need to give you the most correction. So make sure that you have a journaling practice in play. You want to talk about having a dumping zone, honey. That's what your journal is there for. It's there. It wants to take on all the trash, all the garbage, and all of the good stuff. So use your journaling practice as a place to release and reflect. Look at yourself. See where you are wrong and where you are right. Because listen, I know sometimes you like to go heavy on the wrong. But I really want you to use this practice to also go heavy on the right. But we have got to normalize taking self-accountability, because how you handle yourself is how you handle others. When you hold yourself to a high regard, you will also hold others to that same regard. When you handle yourself with love and grace and compassion, you will hold others and handle others accordingly. Sometimes you forget to be human to you, with you, and for you. So accept this invitation to be more kind and loving to yourself, and yet hold yourself accountable. Because when you do your own course correction and self-reflection, you don't have to wait for others or the world to do it for you. Now, this third key right here, this one right here, ooh, the self-talk. Can we just talk about your self-talk? You talk to you more than anyone. So I have a few questions here for you. Are you abusive or appreciative? Are you critical or caring? Are you loving or the lack thereof? Because the tone in which you talk to yourself, it speaks volumes about the way that you care for yourself and love yourself. I encourage you to talk to yourself as if you care about you. This is how you reinforce your self-worth and your capabilities. I know you can be your own critic, even your own worst critic. And if you find yourself in that category, then I strongly encourage you to get in agreement with God about who you are. Because the way that you criticize and tear yourself down, that is not in agreement with the way that God sees you. And sometimes when you don't have the best vision of yourself, it is key to look at yourself through someone else's eyes. And who better than God? Whose eyes better to see yourself with than the vision that God has of you? God has loving eyes on you. And if it isn't God for you, maybe it's the universe, maybe it's source, maybe it is your earth angels, maybe it is your cousin, maybe it is an aunt, a grandparent, your parents, your friends. Look through the eyes of those who love you and get in agreement with how they see the best in you. There is no better time than now to see yourself better and talk to yourself better, which rolls right on into self-esteem, because how you feel about you, how you see yourself, it has everything to do with you. Often so much power is given to other people, and we all know that their validation shouldn't mean anything, right? But here's the part that often gets neglected in the conversation. It's when you are the most self-critical of yourself, and then someone else comes along and criticizes you, because your self-criticism and their criticism aligns. You believe it to be true. So this is why it's so important to know who you are and recognize, acknowledge, and appreciate the best of who you are. Because when you are tapped into those aspects of you, those positive perspectives of you, the outside hate does not penetrate. Hello. So hold your head high. Hold your confidence and your esteem high, because how you hold yourself is the way you should be loved. There's no better time than the present to see yourself with high regard, to see the best of you, not just the best of you that you are becoming, but the best of who you are today. Because trust me, you are already fabulous. You got questions, we got answers. I know when I was single, I was always questioning why. I mean, do you know what's holding you back in love? And even if you're in a relationship, do you understand your own love dynamics? Let me help you out. Take the Love Optimizer quiz to get some new insights you can actually use to move forward that puts you in a better position to get the love you want in your life. Click the link in the show notes to take the free quiz today. The last piece of this is so important. Communicating your needs and your desires. Listen, I said communicating, not cussing out somebody and then telling them what you need. Okay, that's not at all what I'm saying. If you at that stage where cussing out seems like it's part of the equation, honey, it's more time for self-reflection, okay? It's more time to pick up that journal. It is just an indication that you still got some stuff that you need to work out on paper, honey. So let them journal pages have it so that your relationship is not taking the hit from your ego. We have got to release the need of expecting other people to just automatically, through osmosis, know what our needs and desires are, because you are growing and changing every day, whether you recognize it or not. You are. And what you needed last week could be so different than what you need today. So first, you have to understand what your needs are and what you want, and then practice communicating them. When you are clear, you tend to communicate more clearly. When you are confused, you tend to communicate from a more confused space, therefore causing more confusion for the other person. So first get clear on your own thoughts, your own feelings, your own needs, your own wants and desires. Because when you are clear, then you can more clearly articulate what it is that you need from someone else. Communication is such a big part of relationships, but what often does not get discussed is the communication that we are having within ourselves. And that's why your self-talk is so important and was at the very top of this list. Because if you can learn how to communicate with yourself in a loving, caring, and compassionate way, you can be having a lot more positive conversations with other people. And when you are clear on what it is that you need, you make it so much easier for the other person to not have to play the guessing game on how to show up for you. You can clearly let them know what you need, and then they can clearly tell you if they have capacity to fulfill that need. Let's normalize not expecting one person to give you every single thing that you ever needed and wanted. They are not God. They are not Jesus. Kidding, but kind of not kidding. In all seriousness, we cannot carry on in this way of thinking that one person is supposed to fulfill every single need. It was never designed to be that way. That's why we have community. So take every opportunity to understand yourself in order to be able to clearly articulate yourself to others. My dearest encourager, the more happy, healthy, and whole you are, the more you bring that wholeness into your relationships. When you bring all these broken pieces and fragments, honey, into a relationship, you are simply attracting more broken pieces and fragments. And then you wonder why you're overwhelmed with all these pieces and parts while trying to manage your own pieces and parts. And this is not to say that you have to be fully whole or healed. I mean, is there even such a thing? So let's not think in extremes here. And this is more about bringing the best of you to who's best for you. When you attract from that place, you have more favorable relationships, not built on lack or trauma bonding. If you're already in a relationship, all hope is not lost. It's simply a sign to get you together so your relationship can come more together. So often we think if the other person would just do X, Y, and Z, then everything would be fine. But honey, you are responsible for your own healing and happiness. Everyone else just contributes to it. Just like you don't have any control over their happiness and healing, you can only contribute to it. So make sure your contribution is adding and not subtracting. When you do your work, you'll be surprised how the people around you operate at a higher frequency, all because you are. So you be the first. Remember, just like E40 said, everybody got choices. They can grow with you or without you. Not everyone wants to vibrate higher. You have to respect where people are and move accordingly to what's best for you. Encourage over your connection with you and watch all of the other connections in your life thrive. All because together we can encourage over everything. Encourager, thank you for joining as we explore the power of positivity in overcoming life's obstacles, especially when it comes to love, relationships, and everything in between. We are having that real talk, sharing real experiences, and creating real connections. It's not just a podcast, it's a community of like-minded souls looking to encourage each other in every aspect of life. So don't forget to share the Encourage Over Everything show with friends and loved ones. Let's spread the message of love, hope, and encouragement far and wide. And remember, hit the answer, the poll, or question at the end of each episode for your chance to appear in my IG stories. Stay tuned in. Whether you're looking for encouragement in your personal life, seeking advice on love and relationships, or just need a friendly voice to brighten your day, I got you. Listen, share, and hit that subscribe button to stay updated and uplifted with each episode on the Encourage Over Everything show. Because life's too short for anything less than joy and love. Let's encourage each other over everything. Yes, because together we can encourage over everything.